The next point I want to talk about is mission variety. XCOM 2 introduces a number of new mission types, which I really liked. These are, they're all your standard ones. Go in, wipe out all the aliens, go in, steal some cargo, go in, hack a computer, or rescue a civilian, or just destroy a certain object, or just kill all the aliens, or save a bunch of civilians before they whittle down too much. The controversial ones, which I actually like the most, and I think I might make it a separate point of its own, is the timed missions. And now I've seen people talk about the timed missions and talk about how they don't like them and whatnot. You know what? Yes, the time missions are crazy. They force you to charge ahead, because you can't lay back and just spawn Overwatch and guarantee that you'll win by, forcing you to run ahead and finish the mission before a timer runs out. Now, for me personally, I felt this was a genius idea for a simple reason. XCOM is about challenge. XCOM is about difficulty. In my opinion, anything that upgrades the difficulty and makes it that much harder for you to win is welcome. This is freaking XCOM. Why the hell not? Where else would you want this kind of challenge? In my opinion, and it's not every mission that's like this, but when those missions come, you have to be ready. You must take your best guys, and you must absolutely find a way to finish this mission before the turns are over. Sometimes it's not just getting to the hacking station or something before the time is up. Sometimes you actually have to get out of the level within 8 turns. You have to get a civilian and get out of the entire level within like 6 or 8 turns, or else the whole place gets blown up. It's pretty crazy, and I understand why some people hated it, but personally I loved it. But of course I understand some of the missions were pretty crazy, and I did lose some soldiers to this, especially snipers who had to stay at the back. Sometimes they couldn't get to the evac point in time, and I ended up just losing them, and it was crazy. But you know what? I think it's fine. That's what XCOM's about, and I think it was a good addition, just a way to shake things up. If every mission is guaranteed victory, I feel like it kind of ruins the XCOM experience. You can't have guaranteed victory in every mission and then still think you're playing XCOM. That doesn't make any sense, right? I don't know. Anyway, that's what I have to say about that. Then we have the environment reacting to XCOM soldiers. This is a very small point that I noted on one of the missions, and I realized that in certain levels, especially city missions, if you pay attention, you realize that as your soldiers get better and better, their faces begin to appear on certain billboards, these hologramic billboards. And if you get one of your soldiers close enough and bring the camera in, you can actually hear these soldiers. You can actually hear these announcements by the Advent Corporation that are talking about your soldiers.
Greetings. Please report any sightings of these civilians and to your nearest landing station. Please report any sightings of these civilians and to your nearest landing station.
This isn't a big thing that affects the game in any way, but it was just something small that I really liked. I just felt more immersed in the game, especially seeing my baddest guys, my coolest guys having their face on the billboards, because the Advent Corporation now wants the general public to be afraid of XCOM. They want XCOM to be like a renegade outlawed group, and it was just a good point for immersion. So the next one is soldier progression. I think soldier progression is handled really well in this game. This is because I mentioned a bunch of things you can do for the soldiers earlier on, but I might also not have made enough explanation as to how this exactly works. Everything is not available to every soldier at the beginning. The rookies especially have access to very little things, barely anything. They can't customize their weapons, they can't change their attitude. Oh, by the way, soldiers here you can give them different attitudes. It affects how they stand and how they talk and even how they move. So that's pretty cool. But the point is, the rookies barely have any options at all. They can't access the majority of the hairstyles, they can't access the cool features, they can't get tattoos, they can't get any of that kind of stuff. So every single time your soldier levels up, they gain access to more stuff. They gain access to new armor types. They get access to new modification items, tattoos, earrings, paint, and armor and weapon patterns and all that kind of stuff. It gets open the farther they go down the road. So this definitely made it really, really easy for someone to identify exactly how far a certain soldier has come. All you have to do is just look at them, just see how they are designed, and you can tell right away that that guy has been through some shit. Because in order for them to get to that level of customization, they must have done a lot. It's not just this kind of thing whereby a rookie cannot look as good as a colonel. And personally, I love this. I love the fact that the soldiers had to earn their their cool customization items. So it made me grow even closer to those units that I was already close to, which was, I mean, I like that. That was good stuff. Then we have in XCOM Enemy Unknown, it was a pretty much a one-way street. You follow the story, you just kept hammering at the enemies, you kept cutting down everything they were doing, you kept bringing them down to size, just hitting them and hitting them and hitting them until the game went down. However, they didn't do much. However, in this game, there is this thing called the Avatar Project that's running in the background while you're playing. So it's always a race against the clock. If you keep wasting time doing a lot of research, you're going to allow the aliens to make a lot of progress on their Avatar Project. If the Avatar Project gets completely full, you lose the game. It's an automatic game over for you.
Commander, the aliens continue to make progress on the Avatar Project. If we're going to slow them down, we'll need to move fast.
So you have to always make sure that you're cutting down on the Avatar Project. So it kind of forces you to have some kind of priority to what you're doing. You can't just keep letting the missions go by without doing them, because you have to cut down on the Avatar Project. Also, every time you win, you get certain bonuses against the enemy progress. They have their own facilities that they're setting up. You have your own research that you're doing. So it's always a back and forth. And at the end of every month, the game tallies what you did versus what the aliens did, while giving you a monthly report. And then you have the opportunity to sabotage whatever the aliens have done.
Commander, if the aliens are somehow assembling or growing the Advent forces en masse, our efforts to defeat them will be that much harder.
And the good thing is, every time you lose a mission in XCOM 2, it's actually more forgiving, because even though you do lose a mission and the enemies do gain progress on the Avatar Project, you always have the opportunity to go back and undo whatever it is that they did. So personally, I thought that was really cool, because it meant that the game was not too harsh on you for losing. You could always backtrack and undo whatever it is that they've done. At least at a later point, you'll be given a chance to do it. However, if you let the enemies get too far ahead of you, you can pretty easily get screwed and find that you're not able to come back at all. Okay, so let's see if I have any other likes here. Okay, I guess just as a final point in the likes, I guess I could say I liked the new design of the Anthill. The Anthill design of your base, your Avenger. I liked it because it was really improved from the previous game. This time round, when you have certain staff members, engineers or soldiers or whatever, when you're looking around your ant base, you can pretty much see all of them. You can go into the gym, your workout area, and see people training. You can go to the lounge and just see your soldiers just chill about. You could go to the to the engineer rooms and just see all the engineers doing their stuff. And it was pretty good for immersion, especially because the previous game didn't really have this. Everybody would kind of just vanish once you were back at the Anthill and you couldn't see them anymore. And this was a really good addition, because it just helps with immersion. It helps you feel more and more like you're actually in this world. And for me, anything that improves immersion, it's always welcome. It was also a good place to have a look at some of your soldiers outside of their, their armor gear and stuff. And that's pretty cool. It was nice to just see them there just chilling as normal guys. And yeah, anything that makes me, get closer to my soldiers, it's very welcome to me. Alright, so I think that's the points that I have for the good. Now we're going to talk about some bad points. XCOM 2 does have a few bad elements to it, and I think I might have to stop the video here. I'm seeing my recording is already approaching 25 minutes. So let's just take a break here, and I'm going to convert this video and then we'll see.
Can you hear me?
We can feel the